Everybody, this is the Planet Earth here, and I'm going to be talking about Apple's new 5G iPhone 12 lineup phones as of this video. And the reason why I'm very happy that Apple is going to be releasing 5G variants is for people that use Apple iPhones like me. I have the S20 Ultra, the 5G variant, so you can connect to low band 5G, mid band 5G, which N41 and T-Mobile, and then also, of course, millimeter wave if you live in certain cities. Now, San Antonio doesn't have millimeter wave yet. Technically, they do with AT&T, but they don't let nobody access it. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is right here. Look, see, since Apple have released the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, which has 5G, obviously, they're about a year and a half to almost 2 years behind. They always are. This is not going to change. But I'm glad because now that with the sudden influx of users on both Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T's 5G networks, which AT&T's 5G is very sporadic. If you're kind of far from the 5G, it sucks. With T-Mobile, if you're far from the 5G, it still works in certain cases, but not all. But now that they're going to leave the 5G versions, they're going to really have to ramp up the speeds in certain areas because right now, really only the Samsung, the OnePlus phones, I mean, these are really mainly the only phones that have the access to 5G, and not everybody can afford the millimeter wave version of the Samsung devices. But Apple was nice enough to even put 5G millimeter wave, mid-band, and low-band spectrums on their cheapest iPhone, which is the iPhone 12 mini. They have all bands. You don't have to get the most expensive iPhone to experience the network, which I think was very nice of Apple for a $700 phone. Yes, it's expensive, but for $700, that's fair for Apple from Apple.com and the Apple devices. Now, what is going to happen when millions of users start to use the 5G low-band T-Mobile network? It's going to bog it the hell down, especially when they start streaming at 480 and 720p, depending on their plans on every carrier, Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T's 5G. Now, AT&T's 5G really sucks in San Antonio because it's just not very fast. I mean, I've seen a couple of areas where I've gotten 70 plus megabit upload speed, but for the most part, it's about as fast as 4G, and sometimes 4G LTE is faster. Now, with Apple coming out with the 5G variants, these networks are going to have to handle the sudden influx of 5G speeds. And in a lot of areas, AT&T's 5G speeds are not that fast, and T-Mobile's 5G speeds aren't that good. So what's going to happen when millions of iPhone users suddenly bog down the networks because now their phones, the only reason LTE speeds are really good is because, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, they specialize for a fast iPhone because remember the iPhones have the Intel chipsets. They don't have the Qualcomm like the S10, S20, Note 20, Note 20 Ultra, the OnePlus, and other 5G variant phones already have. Like even the T-Mobile Revel 5G, which is a really good phone, but does not have millimeter wave. But I think it supports band N41, so that's mid-band. So that's fair for a $400 phone. Now, coming from Apple with a $700 phone, it's not, it's not bad, considering. Not bad. Not bad at all. That they're going to support millimeter wave, mid-band, and low-band, even on the mini version of said phone. And the A14 is going to be excessively, violently fast. I know this because I tested out the iPad with the A14, and that motherfudger is fast. And Apple, I don't know what it is about games on Apple devices, but they work so much better than Android. I don't know why. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know. Every time I look at a game on an iOS device, it's perfect compared to Android. Now, with these new phones coming out, the iPhone 12 and the Pro, it's going to change the industry of 5G. They're going to put more 5G up because people are going to be on their iPhones. They're going to be FaceTiming. They're going to be text messaging. They're going to be microphoning. They're gonna be. I mean, they're gonna be doing calling. They're gonna be doing data. They're gonna be watching YouTube. I mean, think Apple's a little late, but they usually are, because they don't like to release stuff unless it's perfect, or kind of almost perfect at least. That's how Apple is. And I'm glad. I'm not even an Apple fan, but I'm glad that they're releasing this, because now T-Mobile, Verizon, and especially Verizon, they are going to have to really upgrade their 5G networks to handle capacity in certain situations. Like, they are going to have to push out 4, 5, 600 megabits to handle the capacity for all these new iPhones. Because it's not just everybody on LTE anymore. I've been switching over 5G on T-Mobile the whole time, and the LTE network is actually faster than the 5G network. But what's going to happen to LTE when all these iPhones I think they're supposed to be able to switch between LTE and 5G. I really hope that is an option in iOS settings in future devices, where you can manually go from 5G to 4G LTE only with voice over LTE. I hope that's an option to save battery. Anyways, this is good because this is really going to increase the speeds throughout the whole country. I mean, you're going to be able to be in the middle of nowhere, Texas, nowhere, New Mexico, nowhere, Arizona, nowhere, Nevada, and probably get 200 or 300 megabits down. So rural areas are going to see faster speeds, because they're going to have to provide faster speeds once those low band 5G on T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, they're going to have to increase the speeds. I'm sorry, but with the capacity of all the iPhones, they're going to have a good connectivity. If they're still, I don't know if they're still using Intel or if they went back to Qualcomm, but it's probably Intel. Ew. But I really wish the iPhones would use Qualcomm. That would be the best, because those things, Samsungs have the best antennas on them. The expensive flagships have the best antennas on them. And you get the best speeds with the least bars for what you can afford. But in a general term, if you're not in a 5G character, LTE is still going to be there for a very long time. So I'm assuming that you should just get yourself a S10. They're probably good sales right now. You could probably get a nice S10, Note 10 5G, or a Note 20. And if you can't get a Note 20, I would get the Note 20 Ultra, but I would wait. Or an S20 Ultra. If you're not into the latest and greatest, I would definitely get the S20 Plus, and you'll have access to all the bands, and you don't have to upgrade for like 2 or 3 years. But if you have like an iPhone 11 Pro Max and it's paid off, trade it in, because you're going to get a big credit. Trade it in or sell it at a local cell phone store before the launch date, and you'll probably get like $600-700 for it. And then just wait like 4 or 5 days, and then just pay like $300-400 difference, or even less, and then you'll be able to get a Pro Max for like $400. The 12 Pro Max. I'm not gonna get it. If I do get a new phone, and that's if I can afford it in the future, I'm just gonna get the mini, because I don't need the Pro Max. My Samsung devices are perfect, and the only reason I don't really upgrade and stay with Apple is because of their stabilization. There's always an issue with shaking. Let me give an example. When I was chasing Hurricane Delta, if you look at my live streams, you'll see how stable the cameras are, because Samsung has a really good optical image stabilization feature. I don't know how, but their OIS is the best when it comes to stable. I don't care about the quality of the 4K. I want stabilization, like the stabilization itself. And every time I'm driving, through San Antonio, or if I'm driving through Lake Charles, Louisiana, or if I'm driving to California, even though I'm not doing that, it's always been very stable. Like the actual, the connection, the live streaming to YouTube, it's perfect. And I can't complain, but it's perfect. It doesn't, I mean, it takes a lot to shake the camera while driving in a car. It has like a little bit of a gimbal action to it. Now, with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I still got the shaking action. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, the actual video recording is better with the iPhone, but the stabilization is better with the Samsung. And I don't understand why Samsung did not include the 100 times zoom on the Note 20 Ultra. That was the dumbest move I've ever seen by Samsung. They should have just kept it and then made it better, in my opinion. I mean, there's some Chinese phones out there that can zoom like a mother trucker for no reason. Anyways, like I said, and I don't also like the fact with the 12, they're still not including higher megapixel quality imageries. I don't understand that. It's 2020, almost 2021. But we're in the future now. Yeah, of course. But I'm surprised that they haven't included to like 20 megapixels, 40 megapixels, 100 megapixels on the Pro Max versions. I'm shocked. They're still at 12 megapixels. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't include better megapixel quality for their pictures already. I mean, we're in 2020, almost 2021. They should be able to have like 100 megapixel, 60 megapixel, 48 megapixel camera already. So I don't know why. Maybe in the next year's model, they really start to do something. But we're living in the future already. So even if you don't upgrade your Samsung devices for 2 or 3 years, or if you don't upgrade your iPhone from like an S, maybe an 8, an XR, an XS, or even if you don't upgrade it from like, I don't know, you could even get away with like, you could probably get away with even the 11 Pro for 2 years. The batteries, they can be discharged cycled about 1,000 times before they need to be replaced anyway. I mean, unless you're like paranoid with batteries, always go to the Apple store and just get the battery from an Apple store, because if they break your device, they'll just give you a brand new iPhone. And that's always a good thing. So, seriously, if you go in and you just want a battery replacement for your iPhone, let's say you're at 97, 96%, and you already got like 400 or 500 cycles, and they actually break your iPhone, they have to give you a brand new iPhone. So if you have any screen, like little cracks or scratches on your screen, and I don't know, a lot of people don't know about this, but if they actually break your iPhone or they can't seem to get the battery out, they'll just give you a new iPhone, and they'll even transfer your data for you for free. So it's a win-win situation. You get a brand new refurbished iPhone or whatever. It's brand new anyway, so it doesn't matter. And you get a brand new battery. So that's always a good thing. So, and thank you guys for watching.